So today we are learning about the types of chemical reactions. These are just 5 different types, but by the end of this video you should be able to differentiate between synthesis, decomposition, single replacement, double replacement, and combustion reactions. So as we look at synthesis reactions, we can express this as A plus B equals AB. So if you notice in the name, it is a combination reaction, right? So we're putting 2 different atoms together. All right, so we look down. I have balanced this equation for you, but magnesium is A, oxygen is B. We put those together. We have magnesium oxide. All right, and the one thing you need to look for is that in synthesis reactions, all right, or combination reactions, the reaction forms one product. One product. If we look at decomposition or the breaking down of something, we can say AB produces A and B. Alright, so we're breaking down a compound. So we look down at our bottom, 2H2O2 produces 2H2, alright, hydrogen and oxygen. Alright, so what you're looking for here is we have one reactant. Alright, so in our decomposition reactions, we're going to have one reactant. So single replacement, we can say A plus BC, right? That's on the reactant side in both equations, produces B plus AC, or we've switched, okay? If we have A and B, okay, both A and B right here would be cations. So in the product, we're just going to switch the cations, right? B plus AC, right? Or down below, right, we have multiple anions, okay? Or anion, so therefore, right, C and A goes all the way to the back because we have to put this cation first. So if we look here, A is anion. That yellow is really hard to read, I'm sorry. C is an anion, alright, and B is a cation. So if we look, anion, and the cation right here. Okay, so double displacement, alright, or double replacement reaction. What you need to know for this are A and C on our reactant side are cations, and B and D are anions. Alright, so if we move down to that equation, we can see that we have our anions and our cations. Alright, keep the colors the same. Oh, let's move back up. So AB plus CD produce AD plus CB. Notice, all we're doing is we're taking B here from the first side of the reaction, and on the product side of this equation, we're putting it all the way at the end. D, which is the last anion, on the reactant side of the reaction now goes to the first anion. Okay, first anion. All right, so let's try and do the same thing here. Okay, we have sodium. Right, we've got sodium right there. Notice in the equation above, A does not change. Well, we can leave that right there. All right, we know that D, right, D here switches to the first anion, so we put sodium chloride together. All right, so we got a little table salt right there. Okay, now C stays the same. C. Now remember, this is B right here. B goes all the way to the end, and we're ready to go. Last but not least, we have a combustion reaction. So this reacts with oxygen. All right, oxygen. We see oxygen right here. We've got 5 O2 molecules. Okay. Now we have in a combustion reaction right here. We have a carbon-based compound. Okay, that carbon compound is going to react with oxygen, and it will form carbon dioxide and water. Okay, in some form or another. It does not matter how many carbon dioxide or waters we have. This equation here, the reactants, okay, a carbon-based compound will react with oxygen and will produce carbon dioxide and water. Okay. Now, what we do have down below, okay, is an incomplete combustion reaction. Okay. What that means, okay, is we do not have, right? We don't have enough oxygen to complete this reaction fully. Okay, so say propane is reacting with oxygen, but there's not enough oxygen. It's going to produce, yes, carbon dioxide and water, like a complete combustion reaction, but it is also going to produce carbon monoxide and solid carbon. All right, so be able to differentiate between those two. So let's take a look at a practice equation. We have ethane, which is right there. That reacts with oxygen and gives us carbon dioxide and water. Oh, sorry, I'm writing water. Okay. What type is this? Well, we go back and revisit. We should say that this is a combustion. Why? Well, we see carbon, we see oxygen, we see carbon dioxide, we see water. Okay, beautiful. Now I may ask you at one point in time to go ahead and balance this. Okay, so what do we see? Well, let's just start with one element. See 2 carbon. Now we have 2 carbon. Hydrogen. We have 6. On this side, we only have 2. Now we have 6. Let's move over to oxygen. Okay. Well, oxygen, we have 2 here, right? But now we have 4. And 3. So we have 7 oxygen. Okay, so if we multiply this by 3.5, we can get 7 oxygen on this side. So what do? Remember what we learned in class. We have 3.5 oxygen, so now we have to multiply each of these coefficients, right? Each coefficient by 2. So now we go, and our final balanced equation is going to look like C2H6 plus Alright, let's try another. Okay. We have phosphorus. Which gives us now remember your naming rules, right? So as we go, we'll take a look at our roots, right? So we have diphosphorus, right, covalent bonds, and we have right here, here's 5, so that is pentaoxide, right, pentaoxide. Okay, well, we know we are going to need right here 5 and 2. Okay, so we need 10. 5, 2. Okay, we're balanced. Right? Synthesis reaction because we're putting A plus B equals AB. So we can also do this in reverse if we have here right, we have a decomposition reaction. We're just flipping our reactants, right? So our diphosphorus pentaoxide is now the reactant side instead of up here where it's on the product side. Okay, and once again we take a look and boom, we're here, right, with our 2. Now we have 10, okay, 4, 10, okay, so we're balanced. Alright, I'll take all those away because that's kind of weird and confusing. And you can now see, right, we're taking AB and it's breaking down into, A plus B, hence the decomposition. For further practice, please go ahead and log on to Canvas and you will see multiple sheets for identifying these types of reactions. Please remember this will be on the test, which will be next week, which I know you'll do fine. If you have any questions, please come to class with them ready to roll.